Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a long-term review of my Ascend 133X. Let's get into it. All right, so to start off, I just want to give a quick overview of what I have here. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is the Ascend 133X tournament fishing kayak. I've owned this kayak for just over 3 years now. It's my first fishing kayak that I've ever had, and it's what I started my channel with. So I'm going to go over some of the good things, bad things, and just give you my general opinion of this kayak since I've owned it for 3 years. All right, to start with some of the good things. The first thing that drew me to this kayak, it being my first fishing kayak, the main thing I really liked when I first saw it was the general design and the layout of the boat. As you can tell, it's a very large kayak, and it's very open. There's not a lot of compartments or things hidden. It's all open. So the whole front deck up here is all open. It's got a raised hatch right in the middle. Does it get in your way? Debatable. It can at times, but overall it's very open. The deck is very open. And then in the back of the kayak, it has a large area in the back. As you can see, I have my kayak cart that I made, and then it also has a designated spot for your battery. So overall, I mean, there is a ton of room on this kayak. You can fit pretty much anything. I mean, I've seen people load this out with camping gear. They have a cooler and camping gear loaded up front. So I mean, there's plenty of room, and you can fit almost anything you would need out in the water. Another thing that I really liked about this kayak was the rod holders on the side of the kayak. So there's 2 large cup holders with another cubby on both sides, and then cutout for your rods. And me personally, I really like that. I like that better than having my rods stored behind me for casting purposes. I normally run anywhere from 2 to 3 rods in these compartments at a time. Depending on whether you have spinning gear or casting gear, it'll depend, but it can hold 2 no problem, and up to 3 if you really need it to. I just be careful, but it can hold 3. I've done it before. So that was the main thing that drew me to this kayak was the layout. When I fish, I like to stand up. I fish primarily standing up the entire time. I rarely ever sit down and fish. The only time I'm sitting down is when I got this motor going and I'm going spot to spot. If you've seen any of my videos, you guys have seen that I'm standing pretty much every time I'm fishing. And this kayak is very suitable for that. Like I said, the deck is very open. It gives you the room. It's stable, and so it allows you to do that. The second thing is with the design, from the factory, it comes pre-wired with the Yak power system, which is really nice for if you need to add in any fish finders. I have a flag with a nav light on the top, and then also nav lights on the front. It comes pre-wired for that. It's completely plug and play, which makes it really easy and really nice when you're trying to add different accessories. It also came pre-wired for the trolling motor. So all you had to do was buy the motor, buy the battery, and then plug them right in. Completely plug and play, which made it really easy to customize and add different accessories, which was really nice. Especially for me, you know, this, like I said, once again, this was my first fishing kayak. So this was my first time kind of diving into this and with the different accessories, a trolling motor. So it made it really easy. I didn't have to wire up anything. I didn't have to worry about anything. So that was really nice. And the third thing that I really liked about this kayak is, you know, I think it's a great value for a beginner fishing kayak. You know, there's a lot of kayaks out there that are cheaper than this kayak for sure, but I think this, for the value, gives you a great platform to start kayak fishing. And, you know, especially for me as a guy who liked standing up to fish, you know, a lot of those cheaper end kayaks, you know, they really weren't designed to stand in. They're more designed for paddling around, that sort of thing. So for the price, I think it's a great value beginner fishing kayak setup. I picked this kayak up for right under $1,000, you know, almost 4 years ago now. I think it's still right around that price. I think it's right over $1,000 now. So I'm not saying it's cheap, you know, but compared to a lot of your other fishing kayaks, you know, it is more on the budget friendly side. It's not the cheapest, but I think for what you get, it's a good value. Another thing to add real quick is these kayaks are, back in the day, they used to be hard to find and they were kind of hard to get your hands on. But, you know, for anyone who doesn't know, the Ascend brand is the in-house brand for Bass Pro and Cabela's. So it makes them, you know, pretty easy to get your hands on. I know my Cabela's, every time I go there, they at least have 2 or 3 of this model, along with numerous other of the Ascend models. So, you know, I know when I was looking at other kayaks, a lot of them were sold out and they were pretty hard to find. So, you know, being at a big box store, you know, they're pretty easy to get your hands on. It also comes with a 3-year warranty. So it has that. All right, now that we went over some of the things I like about this kayak, we're gonna dive into some of the things I do not like about this kayak. And there is a couple things, you know, yes, I don't like them, but I'm willing to sacrifice because I really do like this kayak. And those things are being the size and the weight. So this kayak is massive. It is very large, very boxy. It's wide and it's heavy. So moving this kayak around, especially with one person, I mean, you can move it, but if you're going to try to carry it by yourself, it's pretty difficult just because of the size of it. So I would definitely recommend either investing in a kayak cart, building a kayak cart. As you see, I have mine back here. I built mine out of PVC pipe. I would highly recommend you doing that. That thing is awesome. Makes it really easy to maneuver this thing around, getting it to and from the boat ramp to the water, just moving it around in my garage, getting it to my car. I do put this on top of my Jeep, so you know it is doable. You know, I pick up the front end, slide it up on top of the Jeep. So you can do it with one person, but just know it's large, it's heavy. I would really recommend getting a kayak cart, or you can go the route and get a trailer. I know a lot of people that trailer these things. Unfortunately for me, I don't have the availability to get a trailer, so I went kayak cart route, and you know, it's a beast, but that definitely helps a lot. The other thing, these kayaks are known to warp and bend, and I've seen a lot of people like on the Facebook groups and that have dealt with that. For me, I really haven't dealt with too much warping or bending in my kayak. I keep my kayak indoors in my garage. My garage normally doesn't get too hot. It's attached to the house, so it normally doesn't get too hot in here. I'd say if you're leaving this outside year round, that is something to keep your eyes out on. It will, especially in the warmer months, it may warp or bend. If you put too much weight in this back hatch, it has been known to crater a little bit. It gets a little droopy in there. But other than that, I haven't noticed it anywhere else. I know some people experience warping on the sides, especially where these rod cutouts are, because there's, the side of the kayak cut out in your inner wall, so there's not a lot of support in there. So it will warp or bend. Me personally, I haven't had too much warping on the sides of my kayak or in the back. I really don't keep too much in the back of my kayak. I have my battery and then my kayak cart. And that's pretty much it. Even when I'm out on the water fishing, I don't keep any kayak crate, I don't keep anything else back there. So that I had this pretty much rigged the way I would to go out on the lake. So I know that is an issue with these kayaks, and I haven't dealt with it too much. Me standing on the deck, I can feel it bending a little bit, but especially in the summer months when you're out there in the sun for hours and hours and hours, it does get a little soft. So that is something to keep your eye out on. The last thing I want to go over, I'm going to call this the ugly. So we went over the good, we went over the bad, and now the ugly. So these kayaks, it sort of has to build off of what I just spoke about, the bending and the warping. These kayaks are known for cracking, especially in the deck area from where you stand. And like I said, I stand 99.9% of the time I'm out there on the water, and my kayak has cracked. It is a very common issue with these kayaks. A lot of people in the Facebook groups have complained about it. It's come up time and time again, and there's really two spots, one on each side, where it cracks, and mine has cracked in both of those spots. Like I mentioned earlier, these Ascends do have a warranty with them. It's a 3-year warranty on the hull. And what I've heard is, they're pretty good at exchanging them out if you do have that warranty. I've heard it could be a little difficult whether you go through Ascend. If you contact them, they might tell you to contact your local Bass Pro or Cabela's. If you contact them, they might tell you to go to Ascend, vice versa. But from what I've heard, there have been people that have had issues with the deck cracking or the different warping, and they have gotten a brand new kayak in exchange through the warranty program. That warranty program is 3 years long, and unfortunately, I have owned this for just over 3 years, so it has fallen out of that warranty period. So that's a big disappointer. I was very upset when I did find out that I saw those 2 cracks there. Does it affect the performance of the boat? No. The boat, it still fishes fine. I still trust this thing 100% in the water, but those 2 cracks, it was really disappointing to see those 2 form, because most likely they're only going to get bigger. So that is the one big downside of this kayak, is it is known for cracking on the deck where you stand. And there is different things you can do to support that area. I know I've seen people in the back tank well area, they've put like dodgeballs or different types of blow up rubber balls and they kind of inflate them to help support that. I know in the deck you can buy like little yoga blocks or little foam blocks and go up underneath the hatch and put them in there to help support. I have not done that. And really the main reason I didn't is because I didn't notice, really, I didn't need it. I never noticed any warping or bending. I noticed it getting a little soft here and there, especially when I was out, in those summer evenings fishing for hours. But in the 3 years I've had it, I've never had any issues. And, just a couple weeks ago, I looked down and I noticed I had 2 cracks, one on each side. So moving forward, I don't know what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to try to repair those, get a new kayak. We'll see. At this time, I am undecided on that. I have been looking around at other kayaks, but I do really love this kayak. This has been a great kayak for the past 3 years. I really love the design. It works really well for the style of fishing I like. I fish in, I wouldn't say a large lake. It's a reservoir, but it can get pretty choppy out there when the wind starts blowing. It's pretty wide open. So having this bigger kayak, it handles that water with ease, and it just fishes really, really good for me. The way I have it set up, and I really do love this kayak. So I do not know what I'm going to do, but I will make sure I let you guys know what I do. So with that being said, that is my 3-year review of the Ascend 133X. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, please let me know down there in the comments. I will get back to you guys with whatever you need to know. I have fished many times out of this kayak over the last 3 years. I've gotten a lot out of it. So if you have any questions, please let me know down below. If you can like this video, that'd be greatly appreciated. Leave your comments down below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.